Back now to team coverage in Portsmouth over two deadly officer-involved shootings. Today, the police chief commenting on the community's frustration with limited information being released surrounding those two incidents. Also, telling 10 on your side, given the national climate, they're making the necessary preparations should any protests break out here. 10 on your side's Joe Fisher is live outside the Portsmouth Police Department. And Joe, what's being done right now to stop these tensions from building to something more?
Well, Anita, we all saw the riots in Baltimore throughout this week, the protesting going on in New York City just last night. Here at the Portsmouth Police Department, there's definitely concern building over the community's frustrations, although the police chief today in a press conference didn't specifically say what the police department is doing in preparation.
We're concerned and we're listening to the community and taking all the information that comes in into account to decide what direction we need to go in.
Police Chief Ed Hargis says there's worry within the department about what could be to come.
We are tracking any kind of information and determining the source of the information so that we can be prepared should there be any issues in the future.
Just yesterday, the NAACP voiced their concern with a lack of information from the police department surrounding the fatal officer-involved shootings on March 24th and April 22nd.
We're asking for them to release information that does not impugn the integrity of the investigations so that these families in our community can move on.
But Hargis says his hands are tied because both investigations are being led by state police. Still, there's frustration building. Yesterday, these posters went up in Portsmouth calling for one officer on the force to be charged with murder. The chief has asked state police to expedite their investigation, in part, he says, because of what's happening nationally between citizens and police.
We're making preparations here in Portsmouth just in case there are any marches or protests. Obviously, everybody has their First Amendment right to assemble.
Hargis says he's in support of peaceful gatherings, not commenting on what specific plans are being made within the department should anything get out of hand.
We will support any marches or protests that are legal and not violent. We will block traffic, escort people. We're making preparations for all those types of events.
And as for those posters that went up in Portsmouth yesterday, the police chief commented on that, saying that it presents a safety concern for that officer. They say that the extra security measures have been taken for that officer, although they wouldn't elaborate any farther. I was also told the police department directed city staff to go around town today to take down those flyers. The city says they did so, but they didn't remove any flyers simply because they didn't find any of them. Anita, I do just want to mention one thing. Just in the past 15 or 20 minutes here outside the police department, we're outside the training academy, and many officers, about a dozen or more, have actually come out with riot equipment, riot shields and helmets and different gear, and going into their cars. So we just wanted to mention that we don't know if that is a training exercise. We do not know if that is for a specific event. That is breaking right now. We're going to check with police on why they're coming out with riot equipment, and we will certainly get back to you on that. For now, we're live in Portsmouth. Joe Fisher, 10 on your side.
All right, thank you, Joe. They very well, as they said, could be just preparing for anything at the training academy. Our coverage continues in our next half hour, and at 10 and 11, we also have complete coverage on WAVY.com. That's where you can find today's entire news conference from police, as well as all of our previous coverage of these shootings.